I'm Mike McGrill, and I'm with the Sydney Police Department. I've been with this department for 16 years. I've been a police officer since 2000. During my time here at the police department, I've been very fortunate. Being a small enough department, I can serve multiple roles, and I've had the chance to be a field training officer, range officer, evidence technician. I was a member of the combined SWAT team with the city of Piqua, and at one point with Shelby County Sheriff's Department. Now I'm the community resource officer, which means that, as I tell the guys, I don't work a day in my life. Everything I do is fun and positive. Like I said, I wasn't sleeping. I was yelling at my wife, yelling at my daughter. I knew my world wasn't right. What occurred was three men, all police officers, all friends of mine, all men that I looked up to, men that were senior to me, men that were leaders in this area, in my opinion, violated their oath. They all became involved in inappropriate relationships. I don't even have to close my eyes, and I can smell and hear and taste everything associated with that girl's tragic death. And to think that those things don't take a toll on a person is, we just delude ourselves. Situational depression and PTSD. And she said it's because when you're at work, you get depressed. And she said it's a result of these instances that you went through. She says they did not involve physical trauma. She said, but Mike, that's not what PTSD is. It was a trauma, an injury to your brain, an injury to your sense of morality and your sense of justice, and that the way the world is built. And she says, these incidences caused that portion of your world to crumble. She says, and that's just as much traumatic to your brain and your view as physical injury is to somebody else. And I guess everybody, we say everybody has their own gunfight. Two people can be involved in the exact same gunfight, and it's completely different from each point of view you're in. Each person has their own trauma, too. No mother that I know, when that baby's first born and they're holding him, says, I want to be a heroin addict for my children. I want to OD in front of them and have them maybe see me die and not have any food on the table. So what's happened in their world that's brought them to that point? I'm not saying that we ignore the law, but understanding how did the person arrive at this point, and is there another way? Is there something more that we as officers, the first responder, can do to hand them off to another agency that can possibly provide additional assistance to them? I can't help you if I'm dealing with my own ghosts and trauma at the same time.
The joke between Heidi and myself is when we get home, is it a good night or a bad night? And we can tell whether it's been a good day at work. I see it as a strength. My daughter and I both do. She's 15, and we talk about how Dad's really cool that he's willing to go and get some help.
I love going to work again. I'm part of the Ohio Crisis Response Team and the Tri-County Crisis Response Team. Part for me of maintaining my health is knowing that I can help others to do the same thing.
The number of, Mike has on his phone the Officer Down page, and the number of suicides that come through just makes me so sad, because I think if that person would have felt that it was okay to open up to somebody that's important to them, would they have had to come to this point? And I just think how many lives could be saved.
We don't have to just internalize it, stick it all down inside us somewhere and act like we're not bothered by it. I think the day that we no longer are bothered by seeing the trauma in the world, the dead children, the OD victims, the domestic violence, those scenes that we're called to all the time, when we say finally that doesn't bother me, I think that's the time when we're in real trouble, because it it should bother you. One of the other things I get to do is the active shooter teaching, the instruction for businesses, schools, and just groups of people on active shooter. And the way we always close that presentation is a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. And it says, in a moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The second best thing is the wrong thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. And I guess that's how I would end this. I mean, the best thing to do is go get help. But the worst thing you can do is to do nothing about it, because eventually it's going to take a toll on you.